Hey gamers! Open world games are some of the most immersive and exciting experiences out there, but not every great game gets the spotlight it deserves. Today, we're diving into 20 open world games that are criminally underrated, hidden gems that you absolutely need to check out. Let's get started. Let's start with Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. This game is what happens when you take an expansive open world, pack it with lore, and add some of the best action RPG combat mechanics around. What makes this game stand out is its bright, colorful world and fast-paced combat. The open world is filled with quests, dungeons, and factions to join, all set in a universe crafted by none other than R.A. Saboteur. Yet, for some reason, it never quite got the attention it deserved. The best part? The remaster, Re-Reckoning, makes it even easier to dive in today. If you love RPGs but missed this one, trust me, it's worth a second look. The Saboteur is one of those games that feels like it came and went without anyone noticing. Set in Nazi-occupied Paris during World War II, this open-world game lets you play as Sean Devlin, a roguish Irishman who takes on the Nazis in his own way. The unique art style is a big part of its charm. Areas controlled by the Nazis are black and white, but as you liberate them, color slowly returns, symbolizing hope and freedom. It's a small touch, but it adds so much personality to the world. With parkour-inspired climbing mechanics, stealth gameplay, and a stylish vibe, the Saboteur is an underrated gem that more people need to play. Alright, I know what you're thinking. It's a Lego game. Really? Hear me out. Lego City Undercover is an open-world game that's equal parts fun and charming. Imagine Grand Theft Auto, but for all ages, with witty humor and a surprisingly engaging story. You play as Chase McGain, a cop tasked with bringing down the infamous Rex Fury. The city is packed with collectibles, puzzles, and side activities, and the humor will have you chuckling the whole way through. The open world is colorful and filled with secrets to uncover, making it a joy to explore. Don't sleep on this one. It's a lighthearted adventure that's way better than you'd expect. If you're a fan of Gothic or Risen, you'll feel right at home with ELEX. Developed by Piranha Bytes, this game blends sci-fi and fantasy into an open-world RPG that's as unique as it is challenging. The world of Megalon is a fascinating mix of futuristic tech and medieval aesthetics, with different factors vying for control. The open world is completely open from the start. No invisible barriers or arbitrary level caps holding you back. But beware, the game doesn't pull its punches, and you'll need to pick your battles carefully. Sure, the combat and visuals can feel a little rough around the edges, but the depth and charm of the world make it worth the effort. If you're up for a challenge, ELEX is a hidden gem. You'd think a game set in the Mad Max universe would be a bigger deal, but this one got buried under the big releases in 2015. That's a shame because Mad Max delivers a thrilling and beautifully barren open-world experience. The wasteland feels alive, with sandstorms, rival factions, and hidden secrets. The car combat is an absolute blast, letting you customize your magnum opus to become the ultimate death machine. Exploration is rewarding, with tons of camps to raid and upgrades to find. And let's not forget the gritty story that stays true to the Mad Max vibe. If you're looking for a game where chaos and creativity collide, this is it. Yes, this is a remake, but it's one of the most stunning open-world experiences you'll ever play. Shadow of the Colossus strips the open-world formula down to its essentials. Just you, your horse, and 16 massive colossi to take down. The world is hauntingly beautiful, with vast open spaces that make you feel small and insignificant. Each Colossus is its own puzzle, and figuring out how to take them down is a mix of strategy and awe. It's a minimalist masterpiece that proves open worlds don't need endless side quests to be impactful. If you've never played it, the remake is the perfect way to experience this classic. Tired of games where everything wants to kill you? Then Eastshade is your escape. This peaceful open-world game lets you play as a traveling painter, exploring a beautiful island and capturing its landscapes on canvas. There's no combat, no stress, just pure exploration and discovery. The open world is filled with charming NPCs and quests that encourage creativity and curiosity. What makes Eastshade so special is how it prioritizes relaxation over adrenaline. It's a breath of fresh air in the open world genre and a game that deserves way more love than it gets. Outward isn't your typical open-world RPG. It's a survival game at heart, throwing you into a brutal world where even basic survival is a challenge. You're not some chosen hero. You're just an ordinary person trying to get by. The game's open world is vast and full of danger, from hostile creatures to harsh weather conditions. You'll need to manage hunger, thirst, and fatigue while juggling exploration, combat, and resource gathering. What sets Outward apart is its focus on co-op gameplay. Surviving with a friend adds a whole new layer of fun and strategy. If you're looking for an open world game that's as tough as it is rewarding, this is the one. The Risen series never quite hit the mainstream, but Risen 3 Titan Lords is an underrated gem for fans of classic open-world RPGs. The game drops you into a pirate-themed world full of factions, quests, and hidden treasures. The open world is detailed and packed with things to do, from hunting monsters to looting ancient ruins. The game's faction system adds depth, letting you align with different groups to shape your story. Sure, it's a little rough around the edges, but that's part of its charm. If you're a fan of games like Gothic, you'll find plenty to love here. If you love immersive open worlds but want a bit more narrative focus, Metro Exodus has you covered. Unlike its predecessors, which stuck to the dark, claustrophobic tunnels of Moscow's metro, this installment opens the world up. Literally. The open world isn't massive for the sake of being big. Instead, it's broken into beautifully detailed regions that each feel alive and distinct. Whether you're exploring a desolate forest or scavenging through an abandoned train yard, there's a sense of dread and wonder in every corner. What makes Metro Exodus underrated is how it seamlessly blends survival mechanics, storytelling, and exploration. You're not just surviving radiation and mutants. You're uncovering the stories of a shattered world. It's hauntingly beautiful and absolutely worth your time.
None too expedient to fix it.
I know. Far Cry 6 is technically part of a big-name franchise, so how can it be underrated? Truth is, a lot of people dismissed it as just another Far Cry. But there's so much more to it. The fictional country of Yara is a stunning open-world playground, filled with lush jungles, bustling towns, and dangerous military checkpoints. The game's guerrilla warfare theme gives you the tools to approach missions however you like. Stealth, chaos, or a mix of both. What makes it underrated is its attention to detail and strong narrative. The performances, especially from Giancarlo Esposito and Anton Castillo, elevate the experience. If you skip this one thinking it was more of the same, you're missing out on one of the series' strongest entries. If you're into eerie, atmospheric worlds, Chernobylite is a must-play. Set in a meticulously recreated version of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, this game combines survival, horror, and sci-fi elements into something truly unique. The world is hauntingly beautiful, with abandoned buildings, dense forests, and the constant feeling that something is watching you. Survival isn't just about gathering resources. You're also managing your team, crafting gear, and making decisions that impact the story. What makes Chernobylite stand out is its narrative-driven approach. The game blends open-world exploration with a gripping, emotional story about loss and obsession. It's a slow burn, but one that rewards patient players with an unforgettable experience. The Watch Dogs franchise never quite hit the same heights as other open-world series, but the first game is still an underrated gem. Set in a hyper-connected Chicago, it combines open-world exploration with hacking mechanics that let you manipulate the city in creative ways. What makes Watch Dogs special is how it gives you the freedom to approach missions. Want to hack into cameras and sneak past enemies? Go for it. Prefer to cause chaos by exploding steam pipes and triggering car alarms? That works too. While the story has its flaws, the open-world gameplay more than makes up for it. If you've overlooked Watch Dogs in favor of its sequels, it's worth going back to see where it all started.
Man.
Here's one that flew under the radar: Biomutant. This quirky open-world action RPG lets you create your own mutant critter and explore a colorful post-apocalyptic world. What makes Biomutant underrated is its sheer creativity. The world is packed with unique biomes, strange creatures, and tons of customization options. The combat system combines melee, ranged attacks, and mutant powers, letting you experiment with different playstyles. Sure, the game has its rough edges, but it more than makes up for it with charm and personality. If you're looking for a game that's a little offbeat but full of heart, Biomutant is worth a shot. Tokyo has never looked as hauntingly beautiful as it does in Ghostwire Tokyo. This game transforms the bustling streets of Tokyo into a ghostly, supernatural playground where spirits and yokai roam the empty city. The open world is smaller compared to other games, but it's packed with detail. Every alleyway and rooftop feels like it has a story to tell. The game's combat, which focuses on elemental magic and spiritual abilities, is fast-paced and visually stunning. What makes Ghostwire Tokyo underrated is its atmosphere. The blend of Japanese folklore and urban exploration creates an experience that's both eerie and mesmerizing. If you're into supernatural themes, this is one you can't miss. While Shadow of the Tomb Raider is part of a well-known franchise, it often gets overshadowed by its predecessors. That's a shame, because this game delivers one of the most beautiful and engaging open-world experiences in the series. The dense jungles of South America are a joy to explore, filled with hidden tombs, challenging puzzles, and plenty of secrets. The game also leans heavily into Laura's survival instincts, making resource gathering and crafting feel more impactful. What really stands out is the storytelling. Shadow of the Tomb Raider dives deeper into Laura's character and her relationship with the world around her. It's an emotional and visually stunning journey that deserves more recognition. If you're looking for an open-world game that doesn't take itself too seriously, Rage 2 is a fantastic pick. This game embraces chaos, giving you a massive post-apocalyptic playground to explore and plenty of tools to wreak havoc. The combat is the highlight here. It's fast, frenetic, and ridiculously fun, with powers and weapons that make every encounter feel like an action movie. The open world is colorful and packed with quirky characters and bizarre locations to discover. Sure, the story might not be its strongest suit, but the sheer joy of playing Rage 2 more than makes up for it. If you're in the mood for mindless fun, this game delivers in spades. Bikers, zombies, and the Pacific Northwest. What's not to love? Days Gone might have been overshadowed by other PlayStation exclusives, but it's an open-world gem in its own right. The world is dynamic and full of danger, from massive zombie hordes to hostile human factions. The survival mechanics, like managing your fuel and crafting supplies, add an extra layer of tension to the exploration. The story might take some time to pick up, but once it does, it's an emotional roller coaster. Deacon St. John's journey is packed with heart and grit, making Days Gone a must-play for fans of post-apocalyptic settings. Rounding out the list is Kingdom Come: Deliverance, a medieval RPG that trades fantasy for realism. Set in 15th century Bohemia, the game focuses on historical accuracy, from its combat mechanics to its world design. The open world feels alive, with NPCs following daily routines and a deep emphasis on immersion. You're not some chosen hero, just a blacksmith's son trying to make his way in a brutal world. What makes Kingdom Come underrated is a dedication to realism. From learning how to fight to navigating complex political intrigue, every aspect of the game feels grounded. If you're a fan of history and love open-world RPGs, this one's a must-play. And that's a wrap on 20 open-world games that deserve way more love. From stunning post-apocalyptic wastelands to vibrant, lore-filled adventures, these games prove that sometimes the best experiences are the ones you didn't see coming. You can find links to all these games in the description below, so be sure to explore the ones that caught your eye. Let me know your underrated favorites in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Happy gaming.